Hey everyone, James here with MoneyZG. In this video, I'll show you how to make passive income using KuCoin Lending. Firstly, I'll show you all the different ways that you can actually use KuCoin to make passive income, including KuCoin Bonus, and then go on to KuCoin Lending itself with a tutorial on how to get set up and using the lending platform to make passive income. And then I'll show you exactly what I'm doing on KuCoin and my strategy to make passive income lending out cryptocurrencies on the KuCoin exchange. If you're new around here, I make helpful crypto videos every day, including trading guides, crypto update videos, and specific tutorials just like this one. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. If you don't have an account with KuCoin, I'll leave the link at the top of the description for you. You can click on that one, just go straight through to the homepage. You can sign up really quickly in like 2 minutes. And something unique about KuCoin is that you don't actually need KYC information to get up and running, trading and using the lend or earning platform as well. And it is available to a lot of jurisdictions around the world. So you can click that link to go through and sign up, and then you can start transferring cryptos in straight away. So firstly, on KuCoin, there are a lot of different ways to actually earn passive income and lend out or earn on your cryptos. So you can come to this earn platform right here, and there are a few different options. In this tutorial, I'm going to focus on crypto lending mostly. I'm also going to touch on KCS Bonus as well, because that is a way of just basically earning passive income without doing anything at all. KuCoin also does have soft staking and PoolX, and these are a staking platform. PoolX is actually a completely different website. So if I click on that, it will take you through to PoolX. Now this is owned and operated by KuCoin, but it's actually a different website and a different brand. But if you do have the KuCoin app, it will be within the KuCoin app for you. For right now though, let's touch on KCS Bonus before we get into crypto lending. So we'll click on KCS Bonus. Is actually a bonus for people that hold KCS. Now KCS is KuCoin's cryptocurrency. It is used on the platform for various things. One of those things is for earning trading discounts. So if you have some KCS on account, you will automatically get trading discounts on your trades. But we can actually see here this screenshot from the application. The highest APR you can get is around 50%, but the actual rate is at the moment anyway, as of making this video, around 14.81%. So essentially what KuCoin does is takes a percentage of all of the trading fees on the network for a given day, and then takes some of that, takes a percentage of that, and literally just hands it out to people as a bonus that use KuCoin and that hold KuCoin on account. Now what you have to do here is hold at least 6 KCS on account. Now if we go over to how much KCS is, it's about $12 now. So you see, you don't really have to spend a lot of money to have that KCS on account. Now obviously the downside is that the price can also fall. So if the price of KCS goes down 50%, then earning 15% as an annual yield isn't going to be that great because you would lose money overall. But now we can get onto lending on KuCoin. So we can come up to the Earn platform and click on crypto lending and see all of the assets that we can lend out on KuCoin. So firstly, when it comes to supported coins, you can see them on this left-hand side. You can go and search for them. So let's type in BTC right here. You can search, or ETH, you can get that. Search for all the coins. I have found that pretty much all of the biggest coins are supported on here. So you can lend out your Bitcoin, and also Litecoin you can lend out. So you can click on each of these coins and then it will load the parameters right here for you. So you can see all of the interest rates and everything if you do want to lend out your coins. You can come down to more projects right here. So they even have ADA lending and Polkadot as well. Now you have to go around and see if the rate is actually competitive. So for example, on Polkadot, the rate to lend out Polkadot is around 7.3% right now, as you can see right here. Now that's not actually very competitive compared to staking Polkadot, and you can stake Polkadot quite easily on a number of platforms. You can go and do it on Kraken, which has a really simple way of doing it. Or if you're a bit more advanced, you can actually get a decentralized wallet and stake Polkadot into a pool. But you can get rates of around 12 or 13% as of making this video for staking Polkadot. So that's obviously a higher rate than lending it out at 7%. So I'm assuming what people are doing right here is actually just borrowing Polkadot at 7% and then going and staking it at 13% and essentially making 6+% of completely free money. So if you want to go and lend out your Polkadot at 7, you can do that, but be sure to know the rates and yields that you can get from other platforms and from various other methods of earning passive income on your cryptos. I'm going to go ahead and just choose USDT because I think that is the one that really has the biggest rates on KuCoin. So we're going to come over to the daily interest rate right here and the annualized rate. You can see that this will be moving around as it will move all the time as new orders come in, but we can see the amount of daily interest that you will receive as a percentage and then given as an annualized rate as well so that you can compare it to other investment yields. So right now, US dollar tether on KuCoin is yielding around 43% as an annualized rate. That is absolutely insane and mental. That means that if you invest $1,000, a year later, you'll have $1,400 for lending it out on this platform. Compare that to the interest rate that I currently get in my bank account, which is 0. So yeah, this is obviously a big deal. And then you can see the terms right here. So this is the lending terms. So if you want to lend out US dollar tether, then you'll have to lend it out for these terms, either 7 days, you can see 14 days here, and there are terms for 28 days as well. And you can change these terms yourself when you go and lend out, which I'll show you. On the right hand side, then we have total amount. So this is the total amount of US dollar tether at that current rate. So let's take the top here. You can see that there's an annualized rate of 43%, but the amount of US dollar tether right here is changing and now it's at 298. If we just come down to here, you can see there's around $53,000 at this rate, $98,000 at this rate, and then it changes. So you can see how much tether is actually on the order book right here. So overall, it's fairly straightforward. You just look at the rate that you'll be getting. So if you're lending out your tether, this is the interest rate that you will be getting. That's the interest rate that the borrower will be paying you to borrow your tether. The terms, so 7 days, and then the total amount that you are able to lend at that interest rate. Now, as we come down, you can see some other options right here. You have open orders. So if you do have any open orders that you are actually wanting to lend out and that haven't actually been matched with a borrower yet, that will be in here. You can see unsettled as well. This is actually a list of open transactions. So you can see that I am lending out US dollar tether on KuCoin right now to all of these different people at these different rates. These are unsettled because the borrower is yet to repay the loan in full. So you can see here there's an order ID or a trade ID. It's not really that important, but obviously every trade will have its separate ID. The coin that you are lending, so I'm lending US dollar tether, this will be different depending on the coin that you've lent out, of course, and then the principal amount. That just means how much the borrower has borrowed from you, how much you have lent out. So for this order, that was an order of 150 tether, and you can see that the accrued interest on the loan right now. This will update periodically, maybe every minute or so. And of course, if you're lending money out, then interest will be calculated either on an hourly or daily basis or whatever it may be, and that will update accordingly. You can also see the repaid amount right here. So because the terms of this actual trade was 7 days, the borrower does not need to pay me back anything until 7 days after they started. So the terms on this loan were 7 days. They have not paid any of it back yet, but the interest is accruing over time. And then you can see the daily interest rate right here for this trade was 0.124%. Now what you can see here is a bunch of different borrowers and different rates. So you can see this one actually lent out 634 tether at a lower interest rate, about 109. And then this one I lent out $60. This one's $764 at 0.127. So you just have different rates, different principal amounts, as you can see there, and then different terms as well. This one's actually 14 days compared to the rest, which are all 7-day terms. Then we can move over to the settled amount right here. And these are all of the trades that have actually been settled. So I actually lent the money out and the borrower has then come back and paid it back with the interest. The most important things to note here are the total interest paid. So you can see on this loan, which was 150 bucks, I actually got paid around 4 cents in interest. On this loan at 150 bucks, I got paid 64 cents in interest. Why is the difference so big between these, even though the principal was exactly the same? Well, firstly, the daily interest rate was slightly different, but that's not the biggest reason. Actually, if we go over to the terms, you can see this little I next door to it, and it says this borrower has repaid the loan in advance. And actually, that happens to pretty much all of these. The borrower has repaid this loan in advance. So what that means is that even though your term may be a 7-day term, borrowers on KuCoin actually have the opportunity to pay you back early. That means they don't have to pay back all of the interest that would have been calculated when they took out the loan. You just simply get a daily interest rate, and let's say the borrower wants to pay back the full amount after 2 days, then they can do that, and they'll obviously pay a smaller amount back because the interest hasn't accrued over a longer time period. So then we can come to my strategy and what I do on KuCoin, and actually, helpfully, KuCoin gives you something called auto lend. This enables you to input some parameters that essentially do everything in an automated way for you, so you don't have to keep looking and actually physically lending out the money and trading it over and over again on a daily basis. We can therefore come to auto lend. So you can see USDT auto lend is enabled. So what you can come and do is disable auto lend if you want, or if it's not activated, you can just put in the parameters that you want and activate it. Firstly, when it comes to interest rates, I have priority interest rates. So you can see the priority interest rate for all pending orders of the selected lending period. Orders with this interest rate will be prioritized for auto lending. Essentially, you're just trying to get the best interest rate possible and letting the system match you and trying to get that best rate. You can also put in a minimum day rate here, and I've put a rate of 0.1% as the minimum day rate. So we can come up to the lending market right here, and you can see that the daily interest rate is at the moment around 0.117%. So my minimum day rate is 0.1, so well below this current rate. So what's going to happen? The system will actually lend out my money at a higher rate than this, but I'm saying don't lend out my money if the rate is below 0.1%. Then when it comes to terms, you can actually choose which terms that you would want to go ahead and trade with. I've selected all of the terms here, so 7, 14, and 24 days. Like I said, borrowers on KuCoin can pay back loans early, which makes the terms pretty much irrelevant. And then when we come to reserve amount, this is the amount of the cryptocurrency that you're lending that you actually want to keep in your trading account. Because auto lend will take care of everything and take all of the funds in your account and lend them out, there may be an amount that you want to keep in your account for trading. So you can actually tell the system how much you want. And I've put 0 here. So I don't want to leave any US dollar tether in my account because I don't need it for trading or other purposes. So I'm happy just to put 0, meaning that all of the tether in my account will be lent out on this platform. And you can do that for all of these other cryptocurrencies as well. Let's say though you wanted to trade often in a cryptocurrency, maybe you were sending Bitcoin or something around. You can see here, you can definitely change it. So for Bitcoin, I can turn on auto lend, as you can see here. Then I can put the amount of Bitcoin that I don't want to lend out. So let's say I had 1 Bitcoin. I can say that I want half of that Bitcoin lent out, 0.5, and half to stay in the account. And then the minimum day rate, I can look up here, 0.007 is the lowest. So I can put 0.007 as the minimum rate that I want to lend out at. So what I do on KuCoin and my strategy is US dollar tether. The other cryptocurrencies, you can get slightly better rates elsewhere. It really depends on how much you have and how much you're willing to send cryptocurrencies from one platform to another. For a big chunk of my Bitcoin, I actually use Celsius wallet. I get around a 5% yield on Bitcoin. You can see the rate here is 2.55%. So I definitely get a better yield on my Bitcoin in Celsius wallet. If you want to get $40 of free Bitcoin on Celsius wallet, I'll leave my code in the description. If you download the app and use that code, you can get $40 of free Bitcoin when you sign up. If you want to set up KuCoin Lending and you don't have an account, I'll leave the link to KuCoin in the description. And I'll leave some other helpful videos about passive income and earning on cryptocurrencies in there as well. Make sure to subscribe for daily helpful crypto content, and I'll see you in the next one.